Hello and welcome to Apostolic Children's Ministry Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Apostolic Children's Ministry Podcast. We actually skipped a week, and it's been the first time in a while, but I did it with intention, or at least I did it knowingly. It wasn't like it oopsed.
Yeah.
It was on Thanksgiving Day, and normally I record, the day before, and I've been working at the house, doing some upgrades to the house, and I just didn't have the time or inclination to do it. I could have forced the time, but I just didn't. Uh-huh. And I was enjoying the week off of work.
Yeah.
I work at the church, and we follow the school schedule, and so I wasn't working that week, and I was getting a ton of stuff done, and I just didn't want to be bothered, so I didn't do it.
Fair.
And I know that's not something I should be proud of necessarily, but that's why we didn't have a podcast last week. But we're going to make up for it today. Yes. We're going to have a 3-hour one today to make up for that.
Oh, no.
And we have church at that time, so I'm sure Pastor will be very understanding, right? Just kidding. No, we're not. We're just going to have a normal Sunday or a normal podcast. So let's talk about our Thanksgiving. Great Thanksgiving. Let's talk about personal Thanksgiving, and then we'll talk about Sunday school Thanksgiving.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
No. There we go. I was trying to open my coffee. All right. I'll go first. So normally, we're doing out-of-town traveling or whatever, and this time, visiting family, I didn't have to, and so we were able to stay at home, and you guys did the same.
Yes.
It was a very nice, relaxed, very chill Thanksgiving.
Definitely.
And I got a lot of stuff done at the house.
Yeah, I saw the back room. I was like,
I am very terrible at drywall, but I did a whole drywall the whole room.
Yes. Insulation,
can lighting, ran all the electric, the outlets and everything. So, hey, if I got nothing else done, at least I got that done.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, so no podcast, but hey, I have a room dried in. So. Let's talk about Thanksgiving at the Sunday school. So every year we have our annual Sunday school Thanksgiving rotation dinner thing. And we have 4 different areas, and we did the same thing this year. And as you can tell, Trystan has the cough that I was going to say that I had, but it's been a month, and I still have it, which is concerning. So I'm just going to pretend that it's not there.
Yeah, and then...
and that's I'm pretty sure if you pretend hard enough, it just goes away.
Yeah.
That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Yes.
But Thanksgiving dinner. So we serve a big dinner with all the trimmings for all of our Sunday school kids, whether they come with their parents or they come on one of our vehicles. It doesn't matter. We just want to have a big dinner, celebrate the week, because they may not have that at home, and so we want to make sure that they get it.
Yes.
They get it here. And some of them get it twice. Some get it more than twice. So we don't even care. We just want everybody to enjoy it and have a good time. And so this year, my daughter-in-law, Brella, did the food, and she's been doing more and more of this at the church, and she is so good at it.
Yes,
she's so organized. And my favorite part about what she did was getting help in the kitchen that don't normally help.
Yeah.
Or don't normally help for Sunday school. So normally we're pulling from our teacher, kind of this pool that we've developed. But she reached completely outside of that, had a great crew, and it didn't affect any of our teaching, so we had plenty of teachers for all the sessions and for the group leaders and stuff, which I thought was great.
Yes, definitely.
She has been an incredible asset. So, Brella, I doubt you listen to this, but if you did, you are awesome, and thank you so much. And Logan, which is her husband, my son, is a huge asset to her, and he helped her with the kitchen stuff as well as one of the rotations. So let's talk about that. Let's work our way through the different rotations that we have, and just kind of work our way out. Let's start with the kitchen. Okay, let me give you a little more context. We start at 10 o'clock. Normally we end at 11 o'clock. For our Thanksgiving dinner, we extended an extra hour, so we have 2 hours of Sunday school. And so it gives us time to spend 20 minutes in each of those 4 sections, and then travel time in between, and then we can get the kids all home by noon.
Yes.
Or at least that's the plan. So, all right, with that said, which rotation did you do?
I was in the game rotation, like the little game section, with Natalia and Logan. And we played a couple different games. The main one we did was a relay race with the giant cups for cup stacking. which is always really fun because it's really competitive. And also, since we were outside, we were able to have the kids be a little bit more active. So we had the 10-11 boys, 10-11 girls, and super class, each in our 3 rotations. And we had the last rotation off. But we played the game where you put the noise canceling headphones on, you have to try to figure out what the other person's saying.
I don't know what the formal name. There's one you can buy that has it, but basically you can't hear them. You can only read their lips.
Yes, and so we played that, and some of them were really good at it, and some of them were not so good at it. But it was really fun, and it was just
that game reminds me of that whole curse of knowledge thing that we talked about, and I wrote an article in Together magazine about. Just because the person that's mouthing it is like, I cannot believe you're not able to pick up what I'm saying. This is so obvious. You're so clueless. You don't know anything. And the person that's watching is like, this is incomprehensible.
Yes.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go read the article in Together magazine, Curse of Knowledge, and explain a little bit. Basically, the person that's doing the teaching, in this case, the mouthing, sometimes can forget that the other person doesn't have the background they do. And sometimes it's hard to teach someone that you can't relate to. So.
Yes, definitely. And then we also played individual cup stacking. We did that more with Superclass just because Superclass is so much bigger.
So that was a 20-minute piece.
Yes.
And then they would rotate from your piece to another one. But the toddlers, which normally are a little bit of a challenge to include in these rotations, because they're just so much younger and it's hard to reach them with the stuff that reaches other people.
Yeah.
So they did their own thing this time. They stayed within our modulars, which has 3 rooms, and they traveled between those 3 rooms for their rotations. They did a puppet show, and they ate, and they didn't even eat our food.
Yeah,
they did little dino nuggies or whatever. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, if it keeps them happy.
They gave them toddler Thanksgiving food, and I'm sure all the toddlers were very appreciative.
Yes.
Stuffing versus a nugget. No comparison.
I might choose the chicken nuggets too. But
you know what? I used to feel that way. The older I get, the more I like stuffing, and I never used to like it at all.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll eat cranberry sauce.
I don't think I'll ever reach that point.
Filthy, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, it's so bad. Or yams. How do people have green bean casserole?
Oh, I like green bean casserole, but the yams, I'll scrape the top off the yam.
Oh, it's all gross. It's all gross.
I'll eat the marshmallows, and that's about it.
So bad.
But
but my little apparently kid palate likes turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, corn, the rolls, the chicken and dumplings,
ham,
stuffing, ham. I like the real food.
Stuffing is gross.
I just don't like all the icky stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
anyway,
I'm actually very glad that we did that with the toddlers because I don't know if it was last year or the year before.
Last year.
We had a song session, and
didn't go well.
It did not. The
kids cried, even though those kids love the songs you sang.
Yes.
Like in the car, my little boy Cody, your brother, jams to those songs.
Yes.
Like when he hears "Fear Get Out of Here," he loves it. Does the "See You Later, Alligator"?
Yes.
He loves it. But when you do it in a setting with in a public setting,
absolutely not.
They lose their mind, and all of a sudden it's scary.
We even picked very much went to very simple songs like I'm in the Lord's Army, Father Abraham. We went very simple. And then to a point where we were we asked the teachers in the moment, what songs do you guys sing? And they were the birdie with the yellow bill. And we did that, and they still sat there crying. So,
well, they were deeply traumatized by that point.
Yes. So I'm glad that they had their own area, so that not only were we not struggling, but they weren't struggling.
Yeah. So we had the game area, then we had the skit story area, and that was headed up by Bree. Leia, the Toronto girls.
Kim Ramos.
No.
She wasn't there?
No, she was in the toddlers.
Oh, I thought she
Anyway,
was
so they were telling the story of a Thanksgiving story and just acting it out, making it fun. There's a lot of Bible stories in there. And then they went to the object lesson area, which is in Spanish Church, Brother Danny Tirado and Bob Lee.
Yes.
And again, Thanksgiving lessons.
I was watching that in our last session so they ended up coming outside where we were instead of being inside. Since we didn't have a last session, I was sitting out there and I was watching it and I was like, what is happening? It was crazy. I still don't know what happened. I know it's chemical reactions and stuff, but he would have these beakers and he would shake them and it would turn from bright purple to clear or clear to blue. Or
You know what's cool is we had done a bunch of science experiments. I mean, we had dug deep and done all these lessons on them, but I felt like we had almost exhausted all the cool visual, like from a stage sort of experiments that you could do. But Bob has just got into a whole new flow of them. He's probably got 5 or 6 really cool ones that I'm going to steal. And I can't wait because they're like really nice.
I know you told me about the one where they think he did in boys' class where he like shakes it and it turns bright gold.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
I don't know. Science is not my thing, so
it's awesome. And I can totally see like in the Middle Age or in the Dark Ages when the alchemists would perform magic. Dude, if they saw what Bob did, it would be pure magic to them.
Yes,
like it would be just
100%.
like I cannot. This is a witch. He needs to be hung and burned.
Burned at the stake.
But he's doing science. Just
it's crazy.
It's pretty cool. So and then so we had food, games, skit, object lesson.
Yes.
Rotated between those, and then we were done by about 11:30, and we had everybody go home. And
that was an interesting Sunday for our bus specifically because our route is all the way out in San Bernardino.
Oh no, this is in the bloopers, but we can no. We're actually squishing. Basically, the intro, the bloopers, and victories all in this.
Okay, because this is so.
See, I had that very short on drivers.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that, but our route is all the way out in San Bernardino, so it's about a 25-minute drive one way, and we didn't have enough drivers to drive that far, so our route ended up picking up in personal vehicles, but. We were me and Bree had been thinking the whole day before, like, okay, like what time do we need to be there? Now we're going to have to tell the parents we're going to pick up your kids an hour early, and then we're going to have to drop them off an hour and a half late. And we were like, what do we do? So we ended up having 2 vehicles that left, and we were picking up our kids at the time that we're normally getting to the church. So we usually have prayer at 8:15. Or no, we usually... prayer is usually over by 8:15, and we had all the kids picked up by 8:15. Well, all of our first round of kids. We got to the church, and then Jose, who was supposed to be doing wake up, he's like, I don't know if anyone's gonna come. We were like, okay. So I was running an errand for the kitchen, and I was about to go into Walmart, and Bree's like, hey, there's more kids coming, so I'm gonna go head over there. And there was too many kids to fit in her car. So then Jose had to get some in his car, and then so we got all the kids back, and usually we haven't had like a great pickup recently. We've been having like less than probably around 7 or 8 kids, if that. And then the one day that we pick up in our cars, we had 11 kids, which is a lot more than normal. So that's a victory.
Dropping off was a challenge because I get back. I was helping clean up, so I was cleaning up all the. Just detritus from all the rotations, and it was probably about 12:30 or so, and there's still kids from Orange Route sitting there waiting for the second round of trips.
Yeah, because we had 3 cars on the way there, but we only had 2 cars on the way back. Yeah. And my car, I could have 5 in my car. Bree could have 3 in her car.
Yeah,
but then there was still 3 kids left over. Yeah.
So the blooper is that they didn't get everybody home. And get themselves home until after 1:30 probably. So it was a long day for them. So it was pretty rough. But the victory is everything went really smooth. The kitchen has never been smoother. And this is no reflection on people that have done it previously because they've done a great job. But Brella just had it going on.
Yeah,
and like I said, she had a whole crew of probably 10 people. None of them were pulled from our core people in Sunday school, which was wonderful.
I think that was definitely a really big thing is so then all the people who are normally in Sunday school are able to focus on the Sunday school side of it. And so it just kind of made everything go a little bit smoother.
Absolutely. And believe it or not, that's all intro.
Yes.
And now it's time to go, huh?
Well, and technically bloopers.
Yeah, that's true. And victories.
Yeah.
Go to the next part.
Well, boy, I think it's time for a dad joke.
All right, Trystan, now it's time for the dad joke, and I feel bad because you bought me a dad joke book.
I did, and it had a cup. It had a great quote on the front.
Had all kinds of cool stuff, and it's actually in my truck outside, and I forgot to bring it.
Right there, you could have gone and grabbed it.
Well, I mean, we're recording. I just remembered, but I do have a joke for you. I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but we've had a lot of problems with fire lately around the church. Have you noticed?
I've noticed there's fires in general around
The
us.
apartment building across the street burning.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
Heard about it. I mean, it was kind of big news. Anyway, the apartment building across from the church really did burn.
Yeah.
2 of the units got destroyed. There's people from our church that live there that thank God were spared.
Yes, definitely.
But it was a wild deal. I mean,
Yeah.
you could see the flames from forever away, miles away. It was a big deal. And then 3 times during Thanksgiving week, we got called out from the fire department. They got called because the alarms went off at the church. And, in fact, Thanksgiving night, I had to run to the church at 11 p.m. to meet the fire department.
No way. I didn't know that.
It was just a smoke, like a faulty sensor, we assume, in one of the buildings. But we didn't know which one it was. We didn't know which sensor. We didn't know how to disable it. And so we just had them put it on test mode. But before we put it on test mode, we had 3 call-outs.
That's crazy.
So Thanksgiving night, I was meeting with the fire department at the church. So there's fires everywhere. In fact, there's been so many fires. There's a fire at IKEA. Can you believe that? They evacuated everybody, so everybody just assembled in the parking lot. They assembled in the parking lot. IKEA.
Okay.
IKEA furniture
Guessing
comes in boxes,
Yeah.
and you spent a lot of time assembling the boxes
I don't
into whatever you
I
buy.
assemble the furniture, not the boxes.
If you buy a desk from IKEA, you spend more time assembling the thing than you do using it, probably, because it doesn't last very long.
Oh, I've never had anything from IKEA.
So they assembled in the parking lot.
I've never had anything from IKEA. How was I supposed to know?
This is what I deal with. This is what I deal with, people. Yes, shower me with condolences, because it's rough. It's rough.
I know I'm going to hear about it in the chat later.
I hope so.
It's okay.
I hope so. All right, now it's time for a thought from the notebook, Trystan. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So I have this rando notebook
Yes.
with just thoughts from every which way, and I don't know where exactly this one came from. Could have been when I was reading my Bible or listening to a sermon, or who knows. But I was thinking about how, the cart, this is not a lead up to a joke. she has that wary look. When the Ark of the Covenant got stolen thanks to the priests' incompetence and put it out, and the Philistines stole it and took it back to their nation, and then it wreaked havoc there. And we already kind of told the story last time when we were talking about the Ark of the Covenant. But when they sent it back on the cart and they sent it into Israel, and the people of Israel are so happy, and David is so happy, and all these people are so happy to have the Ark of the Covenant finally back to Israel. And it's on the cart, and it starts jiggling and rocking, and that man, Uzzah, touch it, God kills him. Right? I mean, that's a brutal story.
Yeah.
You think about it, this is the Ark of the Covenant, the most precious item in Israel. I mean, this is like the thing, right? The most powerful item. I don't know what else to call it. That in the whole nation. And this man, all he's trying to do is keep it from getting destroyed, keep it from getting damaged. And it's rocking, and he doesn't want it to tip, so he touches it, and God kills him.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing that when I was a kid growing up. And not a lot was said necessarily about this, but just kind of this thought kept percolating in my head that's not fair.
Yeah, it seems like
It's not his fault.
It does seem like kind of an unfair story in the sense of he was just trying to help.
He was just trying to help. He's probably a good guy, hey man, then God kills him.
Yeah.
And I've never, challenged God over it, like, hey, that's not fair. Why would you do that to him? But, in the back of my head, there's always been this question, like, why would God kill him?
Yeah, why to that extent?
That's not cool. Well, and then you read verses like, God is slow to anger. That doesn't sound slow to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It sounds like it's pretty hot. You touch it, boom, kill you. If I told you, hey, don't touch my truck, you touch it and I shoot you, right? I'd be like,
crazy.
Dude, calm down.
Yeah.
And it is true that God's slow to anger. And so I'm thinking that this anger built up for a long time. Because all the part that you read, and this part, guys, this isn't necessarily to do with children's ministry necessarily. It's just kind of like a thought of the notebook that we're talking about. is the anger of God built up over time.
Yeah.
They mistreated the Ark of the Covenant so badly.
I guess once, like, they just reached that certain point, it was like the straw that broke the camel's back of there was so much disregard for the Ark of the Covenant, and they were just, it's just, it doesn't really matter. And it comes back, and they're happy about it, but... Well,
it wasn't like a flare-up. It wasn't like God's like, I got mad. No, he had been seething because of what they had done. He was really, really mad. And to go back a little bit, the Philistines don't have the law. They don't know how you're supposed to move the Ark of the Covenant. If they did know, they probably wouldn't have done it. But they didn't have a clue that you're supposed to have only the priest carry it. You're supposed to have the poles that go through the rings, and they're supposed to carry it on their shoulders, and they're supposed to take a few steps and dip blood and touch it on their earlobes and all this. Right? They didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Like I said, they probably wouldn't have done anything with it had they known. But
it had no importance to them.
But they didn't know. And so they shipped it on a cart, and they shipped it back to Israel. When it got back to Israel, they didn't change anything.
Kept it on the cart.
They left it on the cart. They were like, we know how to move it, but it's more convenient. Let's keep it on the cart. Then we don't have to call the priest, and then we don't have to deal with all the mess. It's too much work.
I just thought it was easier.
It's just easier to leave it on the cart. And I can just see God just getting madder and madder and madder. And this thing's brocking and bucking, and he's probably so mad. And when Uzzah touched it, God just...
Yeah. Because you're saying it just reaches that certain point, and it's just...
David was the king. He knew how that thing was supposed to be transported.
Yeah.
And when it showed back up, he should, as the leader, have taken the time, okay, this has not been treated correctly, so how about we take it off the cart, and how about we carry it properly? But he didn't. They transported it in the exact same way that the enemy had. Yeah, the people of God did the exact same thing.
No respect for it.
Yep. And so Uzzah's death really wasn't a result of something that Uzzah did. I mean, he touched it. Yeah. It was more a result of what the leadership had done. And that's kind of where this boils down to, is sometimes as leaders we can get our followers killed. Or not, this is a little overstating it for what we're talking about. But you can get the people that follow you in trouble because of your dumb decisions. And as a leader in Sunday school, and everybody's a leader in some area. You're a leader of a bus ministry, and those kids watch you, and they look up to you. Mm-hmm. And if we're not careful, our decisions can affect the people under us. Yeah. In fact, I was just reading another note that I had written down where when Jesus was being crucified, and those people were so out of their minds, they were actually screaming, let his blood be on us and on our kids, on our children. Those kids didn't do anything to deserve that. But
some of them may not have even been born yet.
It was the stupid decisions of some parents that had made some really bad decisions that affected their kids. And I don't want to ever do that. I don't want to do that for my kids. I don't want to do that for the people I lead. I don't want to do it for people I'm around. I want to be so careful not to let my foolishness, my leadership, my mismanagement affect the people that follow me. Yeah. Because I might get somebody pretty messed up. In fact, I've heard too many stories, and thank God our pastors have never been down this road, but pastors that have made some silly mistakes, and some saints have lost out with God and aren't going to be in heaven because of some mistakes that pastors have made. Yeah. And they got Uzzah killed because they didn't lead properly.
I think with what you were saying about the preachers going the wrong way and leading the saints the wrong way, it brings me back to a thought that I know you've told me and Riley over the long time over the years of this is kind of coming more from the saints' point of view of you always ask us do you believe what you believe because I believe it, or do you believe what you believe for yourself? And you've always said I don't want to ever come to a point where if the day ever comes where say you leave church, are we gonna stay? Is it for us or is it for you?
Because I've seen parents that live for God and they raise their kids in this, and then I don't, there's many different causes for stupidity like that, but they lose out with God. Those parents walk away, and those kids that were raised in the truth decide, oh, mom and dad must know better, and so therefore everything we've been taught, even though I'm a teenager and I've lived for God for myself, I'm just going to throw all that away because mom and dad have made a dumb decision. Yeah. And that's why I keep telling you, Trystan, if I am ever a fool and I walk away from this truth, you better not ever walk away from it.
Yeah.
You better have it so deep inside of you that even if Papa walked away and your pastor walked away and your dad walked away, that you would still say, no, I'm living for God, for me and for no other reason. But it's easy to say.
Yeah.
I hope I've never put in that position. But leadership can get some people in trouble if they're not careful.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what David did. He left it on the cart because it was convenient, because it was easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes taking the easy way out is going to get you in trouble too.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to ever take the convenient way that gets me in trouble or gets the people that are around me in trouble. Just because I was being lazy. Yeah. And so that story isn't about a mean God, a God that's harsh, a God that's cruel. It's about a God that's holy and says, no, do what I've asked you to do. And for many, many years, they had just pushed him away until finally one guy touched the wrong thing and God, all right, we're done.
If anything, that's just showing how merciful he was over so long.
Yep.
That it shows how easily he could have just taken them all out. And he could have just said, I'm done. You guys have gone too far.
Yep.
But he showed them enough mercy until just it came to the point where he's like, I can't take it anymore.
And the rest of that story talks about how David got upset. How could you do this? And he leaves the cart and leaves it in that guy's house, and God begins to bless him. And David's over there griping, this is ridiculous. I can't believe that God would kill him. And then he's like, oh, wait a second. That's my fault. And then he fixed it all, and he did it correctly, and that's when the glory came back. So, David did correct his course, and that's, if we do make a mistake, I hope we can do that too.
Definitely.
So I know that was a long-winded thought from the notebook, and but just something we want to talk about.
Yes.
Now it's time to go back into the archives.
Hey, Trystan.
Yeah.
You notice something's missing?
Yeah.
Something I learned from fishing.
Oh.
Did you hear me say it yet?
No.
It's because we're out. We don't have any more lessons that we learned from fishing, at least not in that list we wrote, because those were all from that one thing. I'm sure if we
you need to go through,
dug around a little bit, we'd probably get some more.
You need to go through your notebook, and if there's anything related to fishing, you need to pull it out.
No, I think it's ran its course.
Excellent.
I think we're good. We'll move on. We'll get something else in its place, but I'd like to go back and see how many of those lessons I learned from fishing there were. There's probably 30, 40.
That's a lot.
I don't know. Maybe not that many. I don't know. Might have exaggerated it. But, yep, they're not there. So we got to scoot on. We got to get to the archives. So I heard that you were digging around in that Apostolic Sunday School website.
Yes.
And you found something that hadn't been touched for a while, something needed a little polishing.
Yes.
So what'd you pull out?
This one is definitely, it's
a song.
No, it's a skit.
Boy, am I proud of you.
Skit. And this one is, it does take quite a bit of prep, and so it's the lessons called Get Out of Your Box.
Oh, boy.
Yes. And
that's one of my favorites, but it does take a lot of work.
So you basically have this big wooden box just built out of like plywood, and there's someone inside of it, and there's like a little like viewing hole so they can talk. And they're talking about how they're safe inside their box, and they don't feel like pressured to get out of it, and they can just stay inside and they feel safe and comfortable.
I'm warm. I'm protected. No one can hurt me in here.
Yes.
It's just so nice. It's so comfortable. I have snacks in here. It's just, it's so lovely. This is my favorite place in the world. It's like my cocoon. I'm like a butterfly in a cocoon. I'm like a little chicken and egg. I'm just so safe and comfortable.
Yes, and then there's somebody that's talking to them, and they're basically like,
trying to talk them out of the box.
Yeah, they're like, but you're stuck in there. What if you run out of food? What if you run out of all these different things that you talk about? Then like a butterfly eventually has to come out of its cocoon.
Because if it doesn't, it's going to
die.
And if a chick doesn't come out of its egg, it
dies.
So that kind of freaks the person out inside, and finally they pop their head out the hole like, are you saying if I stay in here forever, I'm going to die? And they're like, well, I don't want to get grim, but I mean, eventually,
yes.
If you don't get out, you can never grow. You can never become more. You can never become really anything by staying in your box. You got to get out and do something and be something.
Yes. And so then they start like kind of freaking out, and they're like trying to get their way out of the box, but it's like a wooden box.
Well, they convince them, and they finally say, yes, you're right. I've got to get out of here. I've got to do everything God wants me to be. If I'm trapped in this box for the rest of my life, I'll never become anything for God.
Yes.
And so they convince them of that, and now they try to break out, but now they're trapped by their box.
Yes. And so
now it's not a protection. Now it's
like
it's
they're trapped in there.
preventing them from getting free.
Yeah, and so they're like just panicking, trying to get out. They're like kicking at the walls, and it just comes to a point where they're like, "What do I do? How do I get out?" And this is really bad. I don't remember exactly.
Well, they finally kick. Come on, try harder. You gotta want it with everything that's in you. Come on, you gotta want it. You gotta want it. And they kick and they kick. Finally, they get one little piece free, and more and more and more, so they break out. And then they talk about, hey, don't ever go back to that. In fact, let's get rid of the box so it can't ever entice you back in it. And so they smash the box so there's nothing left.
Yes.
Now, you could do this with like a cardboard box, refrigerator box or something.
Yeah.
But I actually built this out of plywood, like the OSB. I think we got 1/2 inch. And it's way more stout than you think it is.
Yes, it was.
I promise you cannot get out of that box if it's screwed together right. You feel like you can just bust out of it any time. You cannot. So we learned to put a thin sheet
like
on one
side,
like that 1/8 inch, like that Luan, or real thin, like not hardy board, but it's like just almost like thick cardboard kind of that you can bust out. And once you get that side off, the rest can kind of collapse under its own weight.
And I remember you guys doing that lesson when I was in Sunday school, and it's just very memorable, especially because once the lesson starts, there's a giant box up there, and you're like, what in the world is going on? And then you realize somebody's in there.
You know what's crazy? The first time I ever did that box, I built it during the week. I had it all planned out. Me and Larry practiced it and everything. What I did not know is that Sunday morning, of all people in the world would show up in our class was Brother Ken Baglin, the king of Sunday school himself.
That's so cool.
The grand poobah of puppets and object lessons, like the guy. I idolized him for Sunday school. He was my hero. He really was. And he came in the room, and I was like, oh, my goodness, Brother Baglin, will you please teach today? Will you do it? And he said, no, I'd rather just sit here. He said, I just want to watch. Me and my wife. And I said, brother, will you talk at all? Like, just give us a minute. I mean, I just wanted anything. The guy's my hero. I just wanted to hear from him. And he said, no, today I just want to sit and watch. Well, we didn't know he was going to be there, but thank God I had a good lesson prepared.
Something very big and exciting.
So we did the whole thing. And he has talked about that lesson a few times since, and he loved it. He loved that lesson. But I remember talking to my brother after, and I said, can you imagine how intimidating it is to look out while you're teaching and see Brother Ken Baglin in your classroom watching you? That is like, and he said it like this. He said, it's like playing a pickup game of basketball while Michael Jordan's watching. Just like, and he's not critical at all. Yeah. That's not how he is. But there was a piece of me that was just like, oh, I want to, do it right for him, because everything I learned, I kind of learned from him.
That's how I imagine like some of the guys who do like word shots, and they look over and there's Papa and Uncle Joel. Would terrify me.
Yeah, it's got to be tough. Got to be tough.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, that was interesting. And so he's sitting out there watching the whole time.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but we've done it a few times since. Did it at Summit and a few other places. So.
Yes.
Hey, we did it on our church, on our kids revival, and we had it up on our stage, which is like 3 feet off the ground or more. Well, there's stairs that go down, and I was in the box and we're doing it. Well, when I started getting violent with it, I flipped it over on purpose, but I flipped it down the stairs. And this box, it's a 4 foot by 4 foot cube, rolls down the stairs with me inside of it. And I'm just like tumbling. Thank goodness it's falling apart while I'm doing it. So it kind of helped me bust out.
That's
it was so
funny.
Wild, man. I thought I was going to die. It freaked me out pretty good.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially
that's a good one.
With that viewing hole turned away.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So if you want to recreate it or just look it up, it's called Get Out of Your Box, Apostolic Sunday School. It's on the YouTube channel or on the website. Good poll. All right, Trystan, and now it's time for the next one. We're not digging through the archives now. Now we're building something fresh, something hot off the press. What you got?
So this one it's more of an idea than like a concrete like object lesson. So you know
concrete object lessons are heavy. I don't want no object lessons out of concrete.
So you know the lesson we do with the toilet paper rolls and the
blower.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm talking about like the power of God, how it's
rushing mighty wind.
Yes. So it's kind of based off of that lesson, but using it in a different way, where it's talking about how God is always all around us. He's always with us, even though it may not seem like it.
He is always with us through every up and down. Sorry.
Yes.
Group music, good song.
Very good song. So it's talking about how you may not realize it, but he's always with you, just like how the air is always all around us, even though you can't see it.
Ooh, the wind bloweth
Yes.
where it listeth.
But
Now here's the sound, but canst not tell whence it cometh or whither it goeth. So is everyone is born of spirit. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I was waiting until you were going to. I think
My
we're going
bad.
to continue.
I'm done.
Okay. Well, it's basically talking about how, but when God gets stirred up and things get stirred up, you start feeling the effects, just like how
Leaf blower?
leaf blower, just how like a leaf blower, it stirs things up, and then you can feel the effects of the air being stirred up all around you.
Like that.
I would rather not. But basically, it's just talking about, and then I was gonna say, you can also bring in the toilet paper rolls, where you say, and not only does how the air gets stirred up, it starts affecting things around it, just like how when the Spirit of God gets stirred up around you, you may not be able to see it, but you can see how it affects other things, and you can see its effects all around you. So that's kind of
That's pretty good. Yeah. So let's see. How else could you apply that? It's always there. Oh, hey. What about Paul saying, "Stir up the gift that is within you"? That was also in the Grandmother Lois. You know, it's in you, but until you do something with it, nothing's going to happen. You know, the air is all around you, but until it gets moving, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
I
good.
like that. That's good. All right, I'm going to steal that. Good job, Tristan. All right, we're almost done. We're on the last part, Tristan.
Yes, we are.
And this is just kind of like the main topic. And again, this is from my notebook. I was going through there and I was thinking, I think we need to talk about this.
Good.
We're just going to give it a cute little title, and you've probably already seen it because it's going to be the title of the podcast, and it's going to be on the cover and everything else. It's just called Building Bridges.
Very nice.
And you probably are wondering, how does building a bridge help me? So let's talk about it a little bit. But in children's ministry, when we think about teaching Sunday school, we typically think of object lessons and puppet shows and skits and action songs and crafts and snacks and all the things that come with teaching Sunday school. That's the first thing that occurs to us because it is a super important part of it. But there is something that takes those things from being good to literally life-changing. And if we don't have this piece that we're going to talk about, you can almost waste your time if you're not careful. Like you can teach somebody, but if it doesn't get through to them, you really kind of are wasting your time.
Uh-huh.
And that is building relationships with the people you're teaching. Now, can you teach to someone you don't know? Of course you can. We do it all the time. You know, we have a bunch of different routes, and they all bring their kids, and I wish I knew all of them equally well, but I just don't. You know, they're all from different places, and I am trying to make it a matter of importance to really get to know the kids well again.
Yeah.
And it's just, you feel so disconnected if you're not on the buses, and you can't be on 7 buses or 6, however many we have.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have to create relationships because that makes your teaching not just more powerful, but exponentially more powerful. It's not like, it's not going to double. It's going to like 10 times your teaching effectiveness. Because kids listen differently to someone that they're connected to.
It's very true.
That's why when someone's acting up, when someone's being a fool in class, someone's, you know, just running amok and causing trouble, the first person I want to talk to that child, if they're really out of control, is the person that has a relationship, their bus captain, one of their bus workers, someone that knows them, understands their background, that can pull them aside and say, hey, what's going on? You know, they can have that talk with them. Now, I can have that talk with them even if I don't know them, but it's not going to connect.
Yeah.
It's not going to be nearly as good as someone that knows them.
Yeah, especially a lot of times with the kids that we pick up, is a lot of them are like put on such like a hard exterior to the point of where they don't want anyone to know that like they have feelings and that things upset them or things hurt them or anything like that, unless you've already gotten to the point where you've gone past that exterior and you can say, okay, bud, like, what's going on? And then at that point, they're more likely to tell you that. But if a different person came from the same perspective, said the exact same words, they're probably just going to be like, nothing's wrong, nothing, or just completely ignore you.
Yeah, so if I know a child that I'm teaching, they're going to engage much better. They're going to have their guard down. They're not going to be, what's this guy going to say? Sort of thing. They're going to be, hey, that's my friend.
Yeah.
What he tells me is true. Not, I don't trust this guy. They're already going to be in a receptive frame of mind, which is super important. They're going to remember what I teach much longer. They're going to be more open. We talk about how you do really cool object lessons, and even kids you don't know, it kind of pops the top off, and they're like, wow, that was awesome. And while you're doing that, you're throwing in little nuggets of teaching, right?
Yeah.
But if a kid knows you, they come in with the lid off. They don't have their guard up. They know you, they trust you, they're engaged with what you're doing, and you don't have to spend time to push down those defenses before you can even begin teaching.
Yeah.
You can start with the teaching. And we know this, but kids learn a whole lot from who you are, or as much from who you are as what you're actually saying.
Yeah.
They're going to pick up a lot. Man, we sound like a TV ward. Good grief, we're in bad shape. But the way we act toward them, it sets a tone that makes what we're trying to teach much more easier to receive. Talking about Brother Baglin. Back to Brother Baglin, right?
Yes.
He said many times that he has to win someone to himself before he can win them to God. And what he meant by that is he gets to know them on a one-on-one basis. He cracks jokes with them. He's friendly with them. He becomes friends with them. He builds a relationship with them. And at that point, they now trust him, where if he says, hey, come to my church, they're like, yeah, that's my friend. I'm going to my friend's church. Not, hey, I'm going to some weird dude's church that just showed up here.
Yeah.
So he wins them to himself first and then to God. And that's what we got to do as teachers. We have to win those kids to us first and then to God. And I had such a revelation of this. Now, I love riding buses. I really do.
Yeah.
I get older, and it's more tiring than it used to be, and it's a lot more work than it used to be. But I love riding buses.
Yeah, me too.
I got a revelation of this on, might have been the last, or Thanksgiving, maybe the 23rd. I think it was the 23rd. I had to drive one of the buses. I picked up a bus full of kids that did not know me at all. I mean, they must have been their first couple weeks. I don't remember seeing them. I don't know them. Didn't have any connection with them. And I made it my goal to be best friends with them by the time we got to the church. So I picked up, and they're like, who are you? Literally. Walked on, where's our real bus driver?
Oh, no.
I was like, we're changing that. And I didn't say that.
Yeah.
But I started having fun with them. Just telling them jokes and being silly and making them balloons. I'm telling you, it was probably 10, 15 minutes later. They said, will you please drive our bus next week?
Aww.
And they were like, and finally I was down. I'm like, we're best friends, right? Like, oh yeah, you're my best friend.
That's so good.
So we connected, and from then on, every time I see them, we are best friends.
Yeah, and I think with that, what you were saying about they're like, where's our real driver, is not only just like trying to connect with them, but also just being so consistent that the kids know you. Like our usual bus driver, he's there every single Sunday. The last couple weeks, obviously there's been things going on, but he's there every single week. The kids all know him. If he's not there, they're all like, where is he? Where's our driver? And he's not super outgoing. He doesn't tell jokes to kids. He doesn't really he's not trying to get the kids to know him, but they do know him. And just showing how consistent he is, they always are like, if he's not there.
That's a great point, because not everybody is charismatic and able to connect and break the ice and make friends. But you can control that you're consistent.
Yeah.
And even though I made friends with those kids really quick, if I quit picking them up and I didn't see them for 4 weeks, it would be like starting over.
Yeah. They'd be
the next time I went to teach them, they'd be like,
who are you?
Who's that guy again?
Yeah.
But if I drove every week, and build that rapport.
Yeah.
But like, say last week, or when I picked those kids up, if we had got back to the church and then I had taught them, they would have not had a single thought of, who is this guy thinking he can tell me about God?
Yeah.
They would have been like, dude, that's my friend. He gave me $1 because I found a palm tree, because we play games on the bus. But like, we were best friends. So the relationship is super important, and it goes beyond, how are you?
Yeah.
It goes a lot deeper. And you have to notice the outgoing ones and the real quiet ones that sneak in and you don't even realize they're there.
Yeah.
So like there was several kids on that bus that if I hadn't talked to them, I never would have heard a word from them. But I purposely reached out to them and started having fun with them. Yeah, and they were very reserved at first, very reserved. But by the end, they were open. But I had to intentionally create that relationship.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that kid would come up to me and, hey, make me a balloon. No, I had to go back to them. Hey, what do you like? What can I make you?
Yeah.
And then we became friends.
I know there's something that I've heard you say a lot, where like the kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah, that didn't originate with me. That's an old saying.
But it just shows like they really, like, nothing you say is going to matter to them as much if they know that you're saying it from a place that truly cares about them.
You have to show interest in them, in the things they like, before they're ever going to show any interest in what you like.
Yeah.
That's why, whatever the current craze is, if it's apostolic and things I can get behind, not even apostolic, if it's not bad.
Yeah.
Fidget spinners. Remember when those were huge? Now, it's been years, but those were so big.
We had fidget spinners on our, I think they're still on there, on our little.
Well, yeah, it's on our flyers. But every kid was into fidget spinners.
Yes.
And if you weren't, you weren't.
lame.
You didn't even rate to talk to them.
Yes.
So I became obsessed with fidget spinners. I went on Amazon and bought the best ones I could find. I read all about them, about how ceramic bearings were much better than the metal bearings and how you could spin them. And this was like a 9-minute spinner, and this one spins for 9 minutes on one spin, and this is amazing. Yes. And so I could talk their language, and that was like instant connection because I was in their world talking to them about the things they like. That's why when Fortnite was big, I don't know anything about Fortnite. And, it's not a bad game, and it's like, it's not sinful. Yeah. So I learned about it so I could talk to them intelligently. I learned who the really good pro gamers were in Fortnite, and I would call them, hey, what's up, dude? I'm like ninja at Fortnite, man. I could whoop you guys. I had 17 consecutive victory royales, and it was just nonsense, utter nonsense, but it was fun. And it broke down the barriers. And I was able to connect with them because I showed interest in their world. Yeah. Because they're sure not going to come up to me and say, "Hey, let me talk to you about the Book of Luke." That's not their world, and they're not going to get interested in mine until I'm interested in theirs.
Definitely, and not only being able to show interest in their world, as in like things that are relevant to all kids, but just like obviously you're not going to be able to sit down and have a 10-minute conversation with each kid, but just if you sit down in a group and like what we do a lot on, what we did on our bus a lot, is we'd sit down and we'd just ask like, okay, how was everyone's week? And then opening it up like that opens it a lot more to the kids, and so they're more likely to kind of talk. And then as soon as they mention something, whether it's, oh yeah, I hung out with my friends. Oh really, what friends did you hang out with? Or, oh yeah, we just went to school for most of the week. Oh really, how's school? And just trying to pull
or even
whatever
like
they
talk to them about school. Dude, I remember school. What's your favorite subject? English? Mine too. I love. Now I don't fake it. I don't lie to them. Yes. I'm not going to say math's my favorite subject just because they did. I'm like, man, you must be way smarter than me because I'm terrible at math.
I think doing that shows them that you're a person too, and you've done a lot of the things they have. You're even like
show interest in their world. It's important.
Yeah, definitely, very true.
Another thing is to play with them. Play with them. Enjoy the things they enjoy, because spending time with them builds trust quicker than anything else. That's why we play games on the bus. That's why we do paper, rock, scissors on the bus with them. We teach them new fun games. We have them look for stuff. We play games with them.
I think for us,
basketball shooting, jokes.
I think a big thing for us is even just playing songs on the bus, and it'll even be to the point of, okay, if you can tell me any part of the song before any words start, like, well, I'll give you $1 or whatever. And just, because what I've seen is a lot on our bus that the kids do respond really well to music. Or it'll be even if there's a certain song I see a lot of them are doing it, then it's, okay, whoever can do all the actions to the song, I'll give you $1. And just, I think a lot of it is like, because every bus is going to be different. Orange bus is different from green bus, different from blue bus. And so just learning your kids specifically helps a lot, how you're saying, because I know green bus likes a lot of games, like where they can they feel like they're getting up and they're doing things.
And some of that's dependent on your vehicle.
Yeah.
Some vehicles are easier to play games in.
Yes.
You know, if it's a bus with a high ceiling and you can actually stand up and move around a little bit.
Yeah.
Not technically supposed to get up, but, come on.
You can.
Come on.
Even if you shouldn't.
I'm not encouraging any of that.
No.
But if you have the room, then you can
It's
have
possible.
some fun do it. So play with them. Learn their names.
Yes.
Big deal. That is the best way to show them that you're interested in them is to learn their names and remember it. And if you don't remember it, just be honest with it. Like I'll say something like, hey, what was your name again? And they'll say, I told you last week. I'm like, I know, but I'm really stupid. Like you have to understand, like if you have a hamster, I'm like way dumber than your hamster. So you got to tell me stuff like 10 times before I remember it, okay? Can you help me with that? And they're like, the pity. Oh, it's okay. My name is...
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad. But I really do play that game with them. I want to learn their names.
Yeah.
And if I don't remember it, I'll just tell them, hey, I'm stupid. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what I do with all the kids on my bus is usually as soon as they walk on the bus, I'll be like, hi, and then call their name. Yep. And even if there's 10, 15 kids getting on at the same time, as soon as they walk past me, I'll try to say their name just so they know I'm saying hi specifically to them. And
learn things about them. Now, we're not going to go into this because we've done this before, but I like to use the FISH, the initials FISH, family, interests, school, and hobbies. Those are the things that you can talk to a kid that you have zero knowledge of or any common ground with.
Yes.
You can talk to them about their family. You can talk to them about school. What do you like? What do you have fun with? And that'll good connection. We like to memorize their birthdays if I can, their favorite snack, their favorite animals, favorite color. Those sort of things will connect you to these kids.
Yes.
But all of this is important because it creates a relationship.
Yes. And for me, I have a really bad memory with birthdays, so
you don't have to remember.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I've made a sheet, and as soon as I figure out their birthdays, it goes on the sheet. We used to have a servant keeper. As soon as I figured it out, put it on servant keeper.
That's in planning center.
Yes. So, and so at this point now, I've even just texted to myself, where now I have a full list of all their names, birthdays.
So contrast everything we've been talking about, all of that showing interest in the kids in their world, with the opposite, sitting there on the bus, quiet,
on your phone,
playing on your phone, talking to your friend, forgetting all the kids are there, letting them just kind of do their own thing, getting off the bus, see you next week, and then try to teach those kids after that sort of relationship.
I think that's especially really hard when you're a teacher that's also on the bus, and if you ever have a Sunday, even if it's just one single Sunday, sometimes can mess it up where you just don't feel like up to being all happy and exciting and outgoing, and so you just sit there, and then you sometimes feel the effects in Sunday school because those same kids are like, well, she was sitting on the bus, she was just sitting there not doing anything, why should I listen to her, she wasn't listening to me.
Yep.
So you can
relationships are so important.
Yeah, definitely.
We're talking about building bridges, building a bridge to these kids that then I can connect to them. Hopefully they'll connect back, and we can accomplish a whole lot more. And it boils down to this sentence: relationships don't replace teaching. You still got to teach.
Yes.
They don't replace the puppet shows. They don't replace the skits. They don't replace all the object lessons or the action songs. They just amplify it. That way, everything you do in Sunday school is magnified 10 times because you spent time building a relationship with that child first. Yep. And now singing that funny action song now all of a sudden takes it up to a level that you never were able to enjoy before. So your preparation makes the lesson excellent. The more you prepare, the better it's going to be.
Yes.
But without the relationship to back it up, you're only halfway there, maybe even less.
Yeah.
You got to have both pieces of it. Your relationship takes it from excellent to effective.
Yeah.
Takes it
That's
next
good.
level. And this last thing we're going to talk about, and I mean last kind of almost line, is build the bridge long before the message needs to cross it. You can't wait. You got to build the relationships with these kids.
Yeah.
Get them to like you just the way it is. If they don't like you, they ain't listening to you. They have to like you.
Yeah.
Build that relationship early so when you teach, it's there. Now, we're not doing this just for that reason. I build a relationship with these kids because I enjoy it. I like them, and they can feel that. They know I like them because I do.
Yeah.
It's not fake. It's not forced.
Yes. And kids can tell fake.
Oh, they are experts at knowing what fake is.
They'll call you out on it right there. They don't care who's around you, but they'll call you out on fake so fast.
So that's all we got today is the importance of building a bridge, building a relationship, connecting with the kids, and you combine that with excellence in teaching, excellence in doing all the pieces, all the stuff that you can learn at a children's ministry seminar. Yes. Take that and combine it with the relationship, and you have a recipe for unbelievable success in Sunday school.
Yes, very true.
That's what we want. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And as we've said before, we're not experts at this thing.
Not at all.
As you can tell, as we're hacking our way through our podcast.
Yeah. Yes.
But we do love what we do. We have a passion for it. We enjoy it. And if you learned anything in the ride along with us today, hey, that's just a little cherry on top. So thank you for joining us. God bless. And we'll see you next time.